guys are up.
You come back. Yeah, you stay away from the camera. Come back. Mike and I are Facebook friends.
Oh, here, which way? Yeah, that's right. Coming closer. Oh, I see it. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I'll send it to Facebook.
This is our icon.
Oh, yeah, they have campus.
Oh, that's why they have to.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hindi natin kailangan yun. Hindi yun, kailangan
Just sending something to Facebook.
That's not going to work. How ilagay natin?
I know.
Guys, one. Okay. Ready? One more time.
Listeners, and I'm also your master of ceremonies for today. I'd like to thank you all for joining us, and I'd like to acknowledge the presence of some of our honored guests. Consul General of the Philippine Consulate based here in Toronto, Minerva Jean A. Falcon. The Honorable Dr. Eric Hoskins. The Honorable Peter Fonseca. The Honorable Kathleen Wynn, apologies. MPP David Zimmer. MPP Mike Cole. And MPP Monty Quinter. If I have missed anybody, I apologize. It's my height. I can't really see over the podium quite well, so my apologies. What a wonderful opportunity we have here today to observe Canada's ongoing commitment to freedom and diversity. Here we are at Queen's Park, people of different backgrounds, in the heart of one of the most multicultural cities in the world, all here to celebrate together the 112th anniversary of Philippine independence. I'd like to invite all of you to join us in singing the national anthems for both the Republic of the Philippines as well as Canada. The successes we enjoy are results of the contributions of honest and hard-working people from all walks of life. Our first guest, who will be delivering the opening remarks, is a prime example of this. He is a dear friend and respected colleague of mine, a prominent immigration lawyer in the GTA. He has recently been named one of the top 25 outstanding immigrants of Canada for 2010 by the Canadian Immigrant magazine, in recognition of his hard work through immigration law. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Rafael Fabregas.
Mike Cole of the Provincial Parliament, Member Monty Quinter of the Provincial Parliament, Madame Minerva Falcon, Philippine Consul General of Toronto, Members of Parliament, Members of Provincial Parliament, I should say, fellow Filipinos, fellow Canadians, friends, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the hardworking organizers of this event, it is my honor to welcome you today to commemorate the 112th anniversary of Philippine independence. Millions of Filipinos around the world celebrate our motherland's hard-fought freedom from over 300 years of colonial rule. In Toronto, Filipinos will be gathering at other favorite places like Nathan Phillips Square and Earl Bales Park. Similar events will be taking place in Vancouver and other parts of the country. As we Filipino Canadians celebrate our past today, we look forward to a promising future in Canada that is robust with opportunity. I am deeply and sincerely moved by the presence of the Honourable Ministers and members of our Provincial Parliament who join us today in celebrating our Filipino identity. Their being here today is an acknowledgement of such shared values as freedom, equality, democracy, and hope. Their being here today is testament to the fact that although we may have different backgrounds, we all share the same dream of a bright future for our children. I'm joined here today by my 7-year-old daughter and 21-month-old twin boys. Thank you. We Filipino Canadians are equal stakeholders in making that dream a reality for our children, in a country that we have chosen to call home and have proudly adopted as our own. In recent years, I have seen the Filipino-Canadian community unite. As an immigration lawyer and advocate, I witnessed the community stand up as one for our most vulnerable members, the live-in caregivers. We asked the McGuinty government to protect them from unscrupulous employment agencies, and the McGuinty government delivered. This past March, the Employment Protection for Foreign Nationals Act outlawed the collection of recruitment fees from live-in caregivers. This show of solidarity by the McGuinty government sends a clear message to the Filipino-Canadian community that we must continue to actively participate in the shaping and development of our society, and that if we continue to work together, we will succeed. Let us enjoy and celebrate today. Let us continue to work together for a bright future. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas! Mabuhay ang Canada! Mabuhay ang Ontario! Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Vancouver, as well as the Minister Counselor in Madrid, a fellow lawyer, and a career public servant. Please welcome the newly appointed Consul General for Toronto, Minerva Jean A. Falcon.
Maraming salamat. I usually read the President's message, but I think with the change or transition back home, it didn't get to us on time. So I'm going to read a different message, but before I do that, may I thank all of my colleagues. Let me see. Peter, I know you. You can't remember me. We met.
I remember.
Eric, yeah. Mike calling? Hello? Brad Dugan. Is he around? I hear that he has been behind this for years and years.
He's here in spirit.
Okay, okay. Monte Quintner? Hello, Monte. David Zimmer? I'll get you. Kathleen Wynn? Did I miss anybody? Mike. No, I don't want to miss anybody. Mance, exact. And I'm very thrilled to be here. This is my first flag raising in Queen's Park. But I tell you what, we had one in Markham last Sunday. I rushed here from Brampton a while ago. And tomorrow there's more up to Monday. I'm going to Windsor on the weekend, etc. So to take a leave from Attorney Fabregas, they don't call them attorneys here. I understand, my compañero. There are many organizations here which have banded together to celebrate this Day of Days. It's a secular fiesta for all of us. And we celebrate our blessings of freedom and independence, and the fact that the history marches on in the Philippines. It is our 112th anniversary. We were the first democratic country, so to speak, in Asia. And our national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, is not just a hero for the Philippines. He is a universal genius, whose genius has been recognized the world over. Now let me now read what I'm supposed to not read, and this is a message from back home, and I start open quote. 112 years ago, Filipinos in Kawit, Cavite, took a stand for independence and proclaimed themselves a republic. On that afternoon of 12 June 1898, the fight for independence and nationhood planted the seeds of a vibrant democracy, vigilantly guarded by the heirs of the Philippine Revolution. A month ago, Filipinos trooped to the polls to make a stand for their children's future. Drawing on their inheritance of freedom and democracy, Filipinos in overwhelming numbers voted in the first automated elections in our nation's history. This is not part of the quote, but some of you voted, and you voted in the consulate, and some of you watched the counting. In fact, I can tell now from some of our press here, Eddie Lim was there, and Lou was there, and others. If I missed out, forgive me. So today, the 12th of June, the dream of our forebears and our own aspirations are joined in the success of the 2010 national elections, and bound by the common goal of unity in order to build a great and prosperous nation. Here and abroad, Filipinos celebrate the success of Philippine democracy. At the cusp of the peaceful succession of political power, well, this is for us, the dedicated men and women of the Philippine Foreign Service, guided by our three pillars of foreign policy: national security, economic diplomacy, and assistance to nationals, renew their commitment to harness the full potentials of diplomacy to advance the interest of every Filipino and of our nation in the world community. Now, this is not also part of the quote, but I would like to pay tribute to every Canadian soldier that has served wherever and whenever, because we share that kind of legacy. If you have heard of the Battle of Bataan, we fought mightily and valiantly for that, and we did do our best all these years. A revolution in 1986, and we're very vigilant insofar as our freedom is concerned. So I would like to point out to the communalities that we have between Canadian society and Philippine society. And we do draw a lot of inspiration from Canada, which is very active in assisting us under your Canadian, the SIDA. You give us a lot of assistance there. So having said that, marami pong salamat. Thank you very much to our Canadian friends. It's good to have friends. Better for the friends to be Canadians. Mabuhay ang inang bayan, mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat po. Thank you, Madam Falcon. It is such a...
On this great afternoon, celebrating Philippine Independence Day. And I'm so honored and privileged to be here with many of my colleagues. Their names have been mentioned already, but I think many are well known to the Filipino community, and so I want to particularly mention the names of Minister Peter Fonseca, to my right, the representative for Mississauga East, Cooksville. I am delighted to extend warm greetings to everyone participating in the flag-raising ceremony at Queen's Park in recognition of Philippine Independence Day. On this 112th anniversary, there is true cause for celebration, including the many contributions that your dynamic and hard-working community have made to our great province. Ontario is proud to be home to people from the Philippines and to individuals of Filipino descent. The flag raising this morning recognizes the Filipino-Canadian community for the vital role they continue to play in the social, cultural, and economic life of our province and our country. Our caucus joins with all Ontarians in celebrating your rich culture, your rich history and traditions, and please accept my sincere best wishes on this special day. Signed, Dalton McGuinty, Premier of Ontario. From business and the professions to culture and tourism. And so in honor of this occasion, let me say to you, Mabuhay ang Filipinas. Mabuhay ang Canada. Thank you.
All of our colleagues here have a significant Filipino population. We are so fortunate that you have chosen Toronto and Ontario as your home. You have made this province and this city and our neighborhoods so much better because of the passion you have for freedom, the incredible hospitality you have, an incredible culture that you have brought to Canada and Ontario. And today, again, we're not on the agenda, but I want to say this is important to say. Mabuhay Filipinos, Mabuhay Ontario, Mabuhay Compañeros, and please work with us as we make Ontario better. And just remember, the colleagues that are here today, when the Filipino community needed help, especially our vulnerable caregivers, my colleagues here today stood together with you, and we made the life of vulnerable women much better in Ontario. We're the first province to ever do that. Mabuhay Filipino!
Now that Mike got us started, I think we're all going to say a little something. So, salamat po. And, I forgot the word for spirit, but the spirit is so huge in this community. And it's such a vibrant, dynamic, passionate, emotional community that I love. In my riding of Mississauga East, Cooksville, we have so many Filipino Canadians. And your connection to family is so strong. And your connection to your traditions and your culture from back home in the Philippines. And I felt it during our Carasaga Festival in Mississauga, but also we all know that you have such a deep love for your home here now in Ontario, Canada.
And that deep love enriches our province, and we all know that, and we all need to work together as we move forward together.
And that's why he's given us this magnificent day. If you look up, there's not a wisp of cloud in the sky. The sun's out. There's a lovely light breeze, and I think that's a signal from on high, and it's deserved by the Philippine community. Happy Independence Day.
Mabuhay Philippines, I just want to say thank you so much for coming and celebrating here, for coming to Queen's Park and having this celebration with us. And I want to make a special thank you to you for your music, for your singing, and for your dancing. Every Filipino event I go to, there's music. And in my riding of Don Valley West, I was recently at Blessed John the 23rd, and there were many children, and the children who were singing were the Filipino children, and it was just fantastic. So thank you for your music, thank you for your love and your heart. Mabuhay.
In hospital, and without question, every time we met, the first item on the agenda was to recognize the nurses who by and large were Filipino citizens living now in my riding of York Center. And without question, their feeling was there has never been a more dedicated, a more responsible, a more caring group in the nursing profession than those members of the Filipino community. And I just had the unfortunate experience of having to need a caregiver, and I had one looking after my wife, and she was in fact an angel, an absolute angel. But I can tell you that it isn't just the caregivers. There seems to be a lot of attention because we had to bring protection for those caregivers who were young women and others in the Filipino community. But in all sectors of our community, the Filipino community has made an impact. And I'll give you an example, again, a personal one. My financial advisor, some of you may know her, Marita Simbol-Lozon, who is Senior Vice President of RBC Securities. She's this big, but is she ever a powerhouse? She is terrific. And again, we have become fast friends, and not only that, but
Naubos na agad yung card ko eh.
Anong pangalan?
Chef George.
Hi.
Alright, here we go. One, two.
George is from Mindanao.